Hey everyone, Spicy Toast Gaming here. Hope you're having a great day. Hope this video can make it a little bit better. The following video was taken as part of stream. I hope you enjoy, and let's get into it. All right, everyone's back. I think we're going to try a Galeforce build with Akshan. So, Scoundrel Hunter, Challenger, when you play a champion, summon a Warlord's Palace, advance it 2 rounds. This, if you're not leveled, will just advance your Warlord's Palace like 3 rounds with his normal effect. But once he's leveled, then the leveled version is going to summon a Horde, and then he is going to summon a Palace. So you get both of those counting down. For Echoing Spirit to get a bunch of copies of him, and then Galeforce, so he can hit the board, attack twice because of the Scout, that attack counting down your landmarks, and then he'll get recalled. You can then try to play him again, so you can just keep getting this play effect and counting down your landmarks as much as possible. Should be decent with your 6-star to try to get a bunch of these Warlord Palaces counted down to steal tons of mana. Also get the Warlord's Horde triggered for all their great effects. This will be interesting. I don't think it's necessarily going to be the best build for him, but it should be fun. Good for Galeforce. I think let's go and just go into Viego as kind of a general testing ground for it. We wanted something that was not too easy, not too hard, and normally Viego can be somewhat in that Goldilocks zone. All right. Both of these are excellent. Faded is very nice because we are targeting units. Crush allies having Overwhelm, though, is also very good. It is a little difficult. This gives us better scaling, but having Overwhelm is just so solid. I think we will, yeah, grab this. And let's go for Spiderling. We want more copies of Akshan. So let's get rid of those. Having the Vagabond is actually very good. Okay, triple Akshan looks great. Let's do a pass. Normally they play something. Thank you. So we'll drop Akshan.
I do not break rules. I bend them slightly.
Do this for a little bit more targeting. A scout attack. Yeah, let's get rid of this person first. Well, yeah. It is what it is. We'll go ahead and kill this one then. So decent damage. This is then going to count down this next round. We have 0 blockers. Nice. We'll drop Akshan again. And we now have both relics going. Let's see. We don't really need the Charger since they already attacked. So we only really have the option to predict draw 1. Don't really care about any of these, honestly. Let's do a skip. And then let's do this again. Quicksand could be okay. We will do the time and dedication. Yeah, just for the landmark countdown. Alright, so once again, we're going to try to drop Akshan to count both these down. And yeah, honestly, if he died, it wouldn't be that big of a deal because we could just drop another one. But that is fine. I think let's... we could go for the grappling hook, but, well... I think let's go for the targeting. Him striking only counts down now the Warlord's Horde, but if we do the targeting, it counts down both of them because they both have that effect. So we're going to target him twice. We can now get a attack in. And then here, we can do draw 2 and cards cost 1 less, or, yeah. We have enough, right? Yeah, we have enough space. So now here, we can build out our board.
Quick hands make quick work.
Play a bunch of cards for free.
Bingo.
Do we care about the Chargers? It doesn't really matter, to be honest.
Justice was fun. This is justice.
Careful.
Yeah, there shouldn't really be anything they can do. But let's just grant allies 1 more power, and that should be game. All right, not too bad. Yeah, the scout attack, especially with that challenger, as long as the enemy doesn't have too big of units, you are actually having good removal. You are counting down these landmarks pretty well. And then you just, yeah, hit a critical point where you can just start annihilating them. Don't like any of these, particularly. I think we'll go for the standalone. Like, I like that this is a 2-cost draw champion, but I hate this other effect. But it could be worth it just for the champion draw, so I think we actually might. Hello, Zero. Welcome. Let's see. So, Zed, always fun. He also would be pretty cheap. He would summon a champion as, or not champion, a landmark as well. So, likely going to go there just for how cheap he is. Yep, let's grab that. Shop, monastery, or item chest. Probably want to go for the shop, so let's go up here for Mist Wraith. Love that card. Let's get rid of that one. With the double Z, we're guaranteed to draw our other champion. They might immediately kill Akshan, but let's try to drop them here. Yep. That was... We knew that was a chance. We could have dropped Zed first, but we wanted to go for the time and dedication. But I mean, we get leveled Zed, so not the bad. Have you played the 6.5 TF adventure? I think that adventure is a 5.5. But I have played this first adventure, yes. Let's drop this to get that one counted down. Let's go for predict, draw one, perfect, get an Akshan. Let's do another one of these for a Sandstone Charger as a blocker. We won't get him to attack, so we'd have to try to get to draw another one of him. But we have a Hero's Horn, so sure, let's drop this right here. Because by dropping him, we get both landmarks, which is pretty awesome. Although we could actually, yeah, recall him. Big Brain Blaze. There we go. All right, so here we'll try to drop him again. And we'll go for the targeting. Yeah, we won't have mana to play the second one at the moment.
Is what I make.
But we'll get our scout attack off here. We're one away. And then this is actually going to do a ton of damage because the other clone is going to get all of his stats. All right, GG. Nice. What do you think of it? Since you have to mill your own deck to essentially win, I like it. I think it is very fun. I like the fact that you have to mill your own deck. I like that you have a way to scale with it because any damage you do that's 2 or more makes you draw a card. So you have a way to build towards it that's not just draw. It's giving you an alternative win condition, but then it's also just giving you a massive target dummy that if you just want to unload as much damage as possible and brute force it, you can. Overall, I think it's fun. Primal Strength, grant an ally in hand 1 power, draw 1. I think this is decent. It's cheap, has draw. That's fine. Let's go for the shop. Countdown landmarks, we can get them to trigger twice. But normally we're ending so fast it kind of doesn't matter. Cost reduction, that's fine. Since there's another shop right there, I think we'll hold off. I'm going to destroy, create a copy of me in hand. Yeah, I think we are okay. Let's go for Remitter. Yeah, so far, every time I've gone against Twisted Fate, it's been a pretty good time. Shadow Shift is nice, but we want to get multiple copies of our Akshan. I think we'll hold on to the recall because that's actually very, very good for us, but... We'll go for concurrent timelines. So we're able to draw our Akshan. We don't have mana for him yet, but our Zed can attack. Get some damage down. I mean, they might be able to survive this. Or not survive, but reduce down or not take a hit. Okay, they both have Overwhelm, so no, we're fine. Now we can drop Akshan. He is going to get recalled again, but kind of the point was the Warlord's Palace. Now with the Warlord's Palace, we can predict and draw one. We need to get 2 copies of our Akshan if possible. Another copy of Zed, Grappling Hook. Copy of Zed does give us another Living Shadow, so that kind of works. Let's drop our Akshan again. We're just trying to drop him for these landmark generations. Let's put that one there. That one's going to die regardless, but also I don't really want to give them the Escaped Abomination. Sure, let's go right here. Good way to just get him recalled so we can play him again in another round. And sure, let's drop the Forge for the targeting just to count down our landmarks a little bit more. Drop another Akshan. We could recall him and then immediately play him again. Because this would count it down. Dropping him again would not quite count down both of them. I think let's go for a scout attack here. And then let's play that. Drop him here to count down both of those. Let's go for a Sandstone Charger just to get 1 card out of hand. So we can play this here. Draw 2, reduce down the cost of our cards. Let's play this since we can play it for free. Drop this right here yet again, give us further cost reduction. And now we can just play a bunch of our spells for free, which is kind of nuts.
Justice was fun.
Predict draw 1. Can we grab another Akshan? We can. So we're still getting a lot of removal. Getting some good countdown. Let's try to drop the Inspiring... it's actually... Go for Inspiring Mentor for the draw. Perfect. Yeah, you can pretty much just start going infinite with Akshan, and it's a little ridiculous. Let's drop another Inspiring Mentor. Another Akshan. He won't be quite strong enough to kill him, but it also kind of doesn't matter. Also, we just got another Warlord's Horde, so we could draw 2 more, reduce down cards even more, and just keep having this cycle of absolutely annihilating everything. But we have more than enough damage. Let's just attack and end. So far, though, this build actually is doing pretty well. I feel like the Legendary Power with the left 3 most cards, getting Fleeting kind of busted since you don't get it back. Plus, no much many to even play it. Not enough mana to even play it. Yeah, the Fleeting cards is definitely difficult. It's worse for some champions more than others, because for some people they do have enough mana that they can try to play several cards. But yeah, for some champions where you normally are just dropping a card every round, it definitely can hit you pretty hard and be difficult, but I mean, it's supposed to be a difficult encounter, so it gives you something else to think about. I think overall it's fun. Also, since this is in the drafting game mode, even though some champions are better at being spammier than others, you can try to build around that in mind with going for a cheaper focus deck, or a deck that already has other discards. So if you know you can't play the fleeting card, you might as well discard it and get another bonus. So it's difficult, but I think it's overall good. When I'm summoned or I count down, plant 3 chimes in your deck. Count down 2, draw 1. Swinging Glaive, strike, create a lucky find. Both these are very good. I think either one of these would, be excellent for us. I think we'll go for the Swinging Glaive, but that also isn't bad. Let's go for the champion item. Oh, we're 20 away. I do wish you could go into debt and get something like this, because this is so good for us. You have so many temporary buffs, so this is excellent. Let's try a reroll. Sure. When you summon an champion, it's Fury. It's Dragon. That's fine. What's a card we want to cut? Safe Cracker. Actually, these 2 cards you almost never play, so I would recommend cutting these 2 from your deck generally. All right, let's hit up Fiora.
I would gut down the opposition.
You can get the draw 1 fleeting, shuffle them back into your deck, but it makes it harder versus TF. Yeah. So I normally wouldn't recommend that one unless that 1 power is really screwing you for the entire fight. I think this is okay. Multiple Akshans. Have our unit with a draw 1. We will pass and hopefully play. Okay, thank you. They just dropped all of their gold on that.
Slightly.
I think let's go here because this is going to give us a lot of extra power. So we can attack like this first. And then we could play this right here to kill her and level him. So we've already stolen 1 mana, so they're down. Let's do a predict, draw 1, so our... Nice, another Akshan. Our Zed is now free. We can drop him, get another Warlord's Palace going. Do I want to do another predict? Actually, we're going to be able to count these down a lot. Let's drop this right here. Sure.
This is justice.
Let's grant allies 1/1. And GG. This is a nice little surprising OTK. All right. Wow. Not gonna lie, this build is going better than I thought it would. Let's do a reroll here. If we didn't have the overwhelm, we definitely would grab it here, but we want to get something that could hopefully give us a little bit more damage. Quick strike, good and bad. If we don't have the attack token and then we drop him, he's going to give us a rally because that's how scout and quick attack works. But without using the challenger, he'd probably just get blocked by someone and die. Excavator's charge can actually give us a lot of stats, so I think we'll go for that one. And let's go for power. Yeah, stacked against them could be nice. We have, well, it'll give us a little bit of cost reduction, but we are a spammy champion. Being able to play as many cards as we can is really good. Gem crafting is fine. Actually, I'm gonna, one moment, take a little photo of that. I try to have a photo of all of these powers so I can add them to guides. All right, save that for later. And yeah, let's go for stacked against them. A spell or gold chest. There can potentially be multiple shops here, so I think for that we'll go for the gold chest. Let's go for Battlesmith. Yeah, I thought this would be a little bit more of like a meme build, but it's actually pretty good. Let's get rid of these 2. And I think even the Vagabond, while it is good, we want to get both copies of our champion if possible. Since they don't have a unit, I feel relatively safe playing Akshan. We'll go for a time dedication. We need the extra stats because also he is a pretty big unit turn 1, being able to get 2 attacks in and kill potentially 2 enemies is pretty massive.
I'm actually here.
Let's go for this right here, just because
Everyone
it's,
should have a grappling hook. You cannot run
yeah,
from
like triggering that round 1, kind of crazy. Let's see if we can fish for our Zed. All right, Akshan's not bad, but can we get our Zed? No, we cannot.
Finders keepers.
I think we'll actually drop this right here. Goodness, we're 21-12 turn 1. So we're doing this just for the targeting. Not that it particularly matters.
You can count on me.
All right, so we're gonna drop another Akshan. They could kill him right away, and honestly, that wouldn't really be a problem. Let's actually open up with a Swinging Glaive, because this is strike. Draw or strike, create a lucky find. We can use this and then go for our grappling hook. So we strike, we got the plunder damage off, and now we get another lucky find. Let's go for another one so we can play it for free. Another strike, another lucky find. 3 strikes, counting down our landmarks. All right, 9 out of 10 cards. Let's make everything cost less. We're at 10 out of 10 cards. Let's go for this since it is free. Okay, we have a Zed. Let's drop him here because he can then count down the Warlord's Palace more. We're going to try to buff up him a little bit more. We're going to be able to attack right away, which is going to be pretty good. All right, another Akshan, not bad.
Quick hands make quick work.
All right, so Warlord's Palace just popped, so we just stole 1 more of their mana. We'd love to get actually another copy of Zed if we can. It's kind of crazy the amount you can actually play. Let's go for concurrent timelines. Again, trying to fish for a Zed because we want to get another copy of the champion spell. All right, we'll just end right here. There's a bunch of stuff we could play, but we can probably just attack and end. Although I guess let's drop a Akshan.
You know how it is.
I'll write my own story.
This
All right, again, we could play a bunch of stuff, but we won't take any more time that we don't really need.
everyone should have a grappling hook.
But this is actually kind of insane. Let's just attack with everyone.
Show you how it's done.
GG.
My skill is unrivaled.
This is actually working out way better than I thought it would. Miracle, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Yeah, this is surprisingly good. The scout attack with that challenger quick attack is so strong. Don't really care about that. Don't really care about that. Sure, we can go for the rally, I suppose. Rally can be nice, especially if we fish that out after we got that cost reduction. Tier, time in a bottle, not bad. Bad. Allies attack spawn 3. Let's actually leave and see. All right, no other shops. This can be okay because with our scout attack, it's just going to keep giving us a bigger and bigger unit, which can be fine. Time in a bottle is okay. Do we care about it though? Predict, advance landmark, 2 rounds. I kind of think we're actually fine. Champion draw, give an ally elusive. Sure, that could be okay. We'd like the extra champion draw. Let's just go here for another champion item. So soldier. Yeah, I feel like, especially if you actually don't have the overwhelm on your Akshan, you can really struggle with the enemy having too many units. And especially early, this can just give you so much removal, because if they don't shut him down and he keeps getting these attacks in, it's constantly killing their units, which is really, really good. Count down your landmarks. Yeah. This is nice. We like having all copies of our champion. All right, so let's go for a 1-cost Akshan.
I bend them slightly.
Let's do Ghost for Ghost for targeting. That way, it doesn't look like we're going to be big enough to kill these units, especially with our first attack. But the big thing was drawing one more cards. We can drop our Zed.
I am the blade in the darkness.
And it actually looks like we could power him up enough. Let's play this here to level him.
We are what we do.
Let's go for draw 1. Another Akshan, okay. Let's do that again. Another Akshan, okay. So we could just go straight for the Nexus, but let's actually focus on killing their units, because getting these off the board can be quite nice. Let's use this to get rid of their bigger target.
Everyone should have a grappling hook.
And then we can attack right here and actually end the game.
My skill is unrivaled.
So I know we're normally not going to be able to OTK the enemy, like if you play this build consistently. It's just we happen to get some really good upgrades, and Zed as a support champion is very good. But I definitely didn't think this would OTK at all. I thought this would be actually a little bit more of a longer match. I thought the other one would be better. Normally we don't need the double strike, but that would give us double targeting and 2 strikes if the target's big enough. So sure, but honestly all 3 of these are pretty crazy upgrades. So sure. Champion item, again, free attack can be rough. Shadow Totem can actually be good for us because we are triggering some summon effects. Now our Scoundrel is a play effect. When you play a champion, you then summon it. But still, his other baseline effect is a summon effect, so that's not bad. Spirit Stone, fine, but not really needed. Honestly, it won't be bad for Zed. But yeah, let's grab this here. Let's cut the Safe Cracker. We're 35 cards. Technically, we could have tried to get enough to do 40 for the extra cost reduction, but oh well. Let's go for a Viego. Yes, you can speed up the PvE. Under video settings, there's an option at the bottom. You can do like normal, 1.5, 2, 3, and 4 times speed. Let's give it a Tomb Raider Barbara. And yeah, multiple Akshans, Zed, pretty good. We will try to drop Akshan. He might immediately die. Well, they have 5 mana. They gotta play something, right? Let's try. All right. Their Vengeance might still be a 3 cost, but we'll try to drop this here.
You are a child throwing a tantrum.
Let's go here for the extra draw. Then we can drop Zed.
You cannot run from absolution.
Pretty nice. Technically, we probably could have tried to level up our landmark and then drop Zed, so he would also generate the other one instead of finishing off our first one. Oh well. So we're not going to get double strikes off, at least not with our Akshan, which is kind of the thing that matters, but sure. Let's get rid of Viego. Still being pretty good. Let's use the cost reduction here. Let's predict draw 1, see. Ghost can be nice just for the extra champion draw. Rally, that could be pretty handy later. Let's go for our scout attack. And now we can draw more cards. Everything costs less. So now we can play a bunch of this stuff just completely for free. But yeah, it kind of doesn't matter. GG, this has actually been insane.
Embrace the shadow.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's like going back and even trying to play on some of those lower speeds. It just feels like slow motion. It's so rough. I can actually get through content a lot faster. Yeah, this build actually worked out way better than I thought. This is insane, actually. That was very, very good. We did get some very good upgrades there. For one, wow, the cost reduction is great for stacked against them. Also collect your bounty. This let us put a lot more damage turn one. Having the overwhelm gave us some more damage as well. So we got some good upgrades here. Also getting like Zed, a support champion who can play round one. Also very solid, but this build surprised me. I thought that this was actually going to be a build that took a little bit longer to kind of pay off and get going. You're just going to have to keep playing Akshan. I thought some of the other builds that I had would be better turn one, but this is actually very good. And I think in some situations, as long as you can get your Akshan big enough to take out the enemy targets, this is going to be excellent for you. Now, if the enemies have units that are too big and so you can't actually get your scout attack off, then yeah, that part will kind of suck. But him being a 2 cost, especially with his relic for that challenger, you drop him, he's able to attack twice. That alone really good, potentially taking out 2 enemy targets. Every time he's attacking, you get a strike off, he's counting down your landmarks. And then if this match, or if this build does actually go into the mid or late game, it's not bad, because every time you're dropping your Akshan, he's giving you another Warlord's Palace, he's giving you another Warlord's Horde. Both those counting down, if you have them at 6 stars, are giving you their effects. I think if you have like a 6-star Akshan with his relic, this is exceptional. I think even without being at 6 stars, still being able to drop him and attack turn 1 is good. If you don't have his relic, you probably still want to get Challenger in some way. So whether you go for like the Pike relic or just get Challenger, probably be good, because normally the enemy in these challenges, you could see that if I just attacked, they would have someone strong enough to block and kill me. So being able to kind of choose your targets is pretty important. But yeah, this was way stronger than I actually thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a little bit more of a meme. This was actually excellent. Hope you enjoyed that. If you did, a like and subscribe is always appreciated. Also, if you want to check out our Twitch stream, Discord channel, or the main YouTube channel, links to all that are down below. Thank you again for watching. Hope you have a great rest of your day.